That's what I'm talking about right there. A thorough 24-9 defeat by the hands of the Green Bay Packers. No preseason champs this year. No 10 for 10 for Sam Bradford. No teasing ever. No more of that. All right, let's get on to this game. All right, so, first preseason game, it was kind of messy. It was a sloppy game, and not a fun game to watch. I'll say that. But, all right, we'll kind of go position by position here. I'll kind of talk about what I wrote down. If I missed anything by the end, I'm sorry. So I'm live streaming on my laptop, by the way, so I'm not seeing the comments. All right, so Carson Wentz 4 for 4 for 56 yards. So 2 great throws that he had. So the patience in the pocket there with the defender sagging on him. Hits Matthews for the conversion. And then the touchdown to Matt Collins was a thing of beauty. The duck under Clay Matthews and then hits Matt Collins. Matt Collins was like breaking every tackle tonight. It was crazy. Wow. He's really, really tough to bring down. They just couldn't tackle him. I don't know if it's because of him or if because Green Bay just can't tackle. I mean, I know this was a huge problem for them last preseason or last season. I mean, that secondary for them was terrible. But Matt Collins, big game tonight. That's for sure. The running back situation. So the Eagles could not run the football. 18 carries for 41 yards in all, 2.3 yards per carry. LeGarrette Blount, 4 carries for 9 yards. 3 of those carries were along the boundary. So I hope they're just like experimenting with this because I don't know why he's running outside the tackles. He should be running the ball right up the gut. So I didn't really understand that. But I mean, preseason, I don't know if they're just trying to work on some things. I don't know what was up with that. But the run blocking tonight was not very good. I didn't think Chance Warmack was very good. But I'm going to look at the offensive line a little bit more because I'm going to watch the game again and do all that. So, look at the O-line a little bit further. But run blocking, not good tonight. Donnell Pumphrey was just a mess. I talked about my film study, just because he's small and just because he's quick doesn't mean it's going to translate to a receiver. Maybe not right away, but those routes are just not cutting it. Those routes in the flat, he wasn't able to turn the corner. He wasn't able to get anywhere after the catch. I mean, he was just brought down immediately. So, that wasn't good. So we'll see if he bounces back after that. But he had 5 receptions tonight. I don't want him seeing catching the ball that much. I want to see him more running the ball. So he wasn't able to do much of anything anywhere. Cory Clemente, he had that one nice catch where he had the turn after the catch. You think of those Wisconsin running backs, you think, most of them can't really catch the ball. And, we kind of saw that on a pass in the right flat. Those hands kind of look like rocks there. But that was a nice play, the one reception he had. Let's see. Oh, Derek Barnett. I should have talked about him right off from the jump. So he just abused Jason Spriggs tonight. Had 2 sacks, but he also had another play where this speed rush where he got to the quarterback literally quicker than Chip Kelly 3 and out. This was literally amazing. And this was a play where Nate Jerry had good coverage. And Nate Jerry, I'll talk about him later, but he had a good game. Actually, I'll talk about him right now. So he was in position twice. He looked quick out there. He looked instinctive out there. So he looked good for, 6th rounder. Wow, he was kind of flying around the field a little bit. I liked what I saw from him. So, they talked about him making that transition to linebacker. He looks like he's making it pretty seamlessly. But again, just a preseason game. And, we got to remember these guys are playing against second stringers. I mean, Derek Barnett going up against the second string left tackle and Jason Spriggs. But Spriggs was a guy that a lot of people liked last year heading into the draft. I mean, he was a combine wonder. He put up these ridiculous numbers in Indianapolis. And, people really got on the Jason Spriggs hype train. And Derek Barnett freaking obliterated him tonight. So Derek Barnett looked really good. And I like the fact that his first sack wasn't a speed rush. I know I mentioned this in the quick video that I did, but it wasn't a speed rush. He great use of his hands, his strong hands, and went inside for the sack. So he had a big game. He looked really good. I talked about Jerry. All right, so let's get to the cornerbacks. I thought the guy that looked good was Jalen Mills. I like what I saw from him, the opening drive that he had, the tackle. opening play, had another tackle, had another strong coverage play. Patrick Robinson, I'm going to watch the game back, but he wasn't terrible. I'll say that, man. I mean, these beat writers talked a lot of shit on the guy. He wasn't terrible, but we'll see as the preseason goes along. CJ Smith, his first series was just as bad as it gets. I mean, wow, that was awful. It did bounce back after that, made 2 nice plays after that, but he got beat real bad on a touchdown by Jeff Janis on a double move. That was, bitter beer face right there. That's what that left you. Rasul Douglas. I'll tell you what, he could be a guy that, we'll see. I like how he uses his hands, man. I really do. And the way he smothered, I believe it was McCaffrey on a route tonight. This was more, I think it might have been in the fourth quarter on a quick slant, and then just a great pass break up there. Yeah, you can tell he's got to work with his feet, but his hands are already there, it seems like. So maybe he's a guy that can progress a little bit quicker than I think. We'll see. Maybe look to him, starting by mid-season. We'll see. I kind of like what I saw from him a little bit. So we'll see the rest of the preseason how he kind of looks. A vicious hit tonight in the game by Trey Sullivan out of Shepherd. This guy, wow. That was vicious. That was on Dupree, the 7th rounder out of LSU. Carted him off the field. That's one of those, like, whoo, it's scary, That one had the heart beating a little bit, but that was a big hit. Big. And then, the thing that he kind of should have pulled off there on that second one there. Should have been flagged for that. But, yeah, Trey Sullivan, hey, he made a name for himself tonight, so nobody knew who he was heading into the game. People now know. Trey Sullivan, the kid from Shepherd. All right. Tay Glover Wright. This kid freaking sucked. So this was the guy that got beaten by DGB last year in the Colts game. If you remember in the preseason, he was on the Colts. So he got beaten all over the field tonight. This guy was just, wow. He might have been abused worse than Jason Spriggs. I mean, this guy was bad. And that's about all I got. I didn't get into the receivers more. My bad. Bryce Treggs had a big game. What I liked out of him tonight was working the underneath stuff. Because when you think about him, you think about him being a fly route guy. And for him to be able to run a lot of good underneath routes, too. These were precise routes. And there's a lot of talk about Marcus Johnson, Greg Ward potentially winning that 6th and final wide receiver spot. But Bryce Treggs, according to the beat writers as well, he's been having a good camp, and he played pretty well tonight. So, hey, he might be the leader in the clubhouse because Marcus Johnson, Greg Ward, what did they really do tonight? So, there you go. Bryce Treggs, yeah. I wouldn't have thought, but Bryce freaking Treggs. By the way, did Nelson Aguilar get hurt or something? Like, he didn't do a thing. Not even on the stat sheet. So no catches for him. Jordan Matthews. Now, 3 catches for 18 yards. If you look at that stat line, you might think, well, that's not too great, but all 3 of those catches, 2 of them came on 3rd down, and 1 of them was that 4th and 6 conversion. So he had the one where he broke out of the tackle of, who was it? Barnett with a nice stiff arm. So he had that play. So that was really nice. So, yeah, Matthews in his limited opportunities that he had paid dividends. Shelton Gibson, I mean, this guy looked terrible out there. Had another drop. They've been saying in camp he's been dropping everything. Dropped another ball tonight, so he didn't look too good. So there you go. There's your wide receiver. So overall tonight, not a pretty game by any means. It was ugly out there. But Eagles, besides actually they did have an injury tonight, major injury to Halapoulivaati Vaitai potentially. I haven't gotten any updates on him yet, but left knee injury it looks like. Besides that, I don't think anyone else got hurt really. Oh, actually, Ron Brooks got hurt too. Actually, hamstring injury. And you know, see, that's the thing too about these corners, man. Like, who's going to be that third guy? And if you have an injury to Ron Brooks and Jalen Mills, that just kills you. Ugh. Like Ron Brooks, those because he had the injuries last year. You don't want something like that to be nagging. You want him to be playing all 16 games. Ron Brooks is kind of vital to this team. Jalen Mills, these guys are vital to this team. So they need some cornerbacks that can play average. So yeah, next preseason game, we'll see about Patrick Robinson. So he didn't get burnt tonight. Nothing like that. It wasn't bad. Wasn't terrible. It wasn't as scary as they all said it was going to be. So, yeah, the corners, that first team played pretty well. But it was against, wasn't against Aaron Rodgers now, was it? It wasn't. But, hey, one meaningless preseason game is in the books. And what I'll say is this. I like what I saw out of Derek Barnett. Actually, love what I saw of Derek Barnett. But let's see him do that against a better tackle now, Let's see some of these guys do it against the better competition now. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe Rasul Douglas will get earlier playing time, because C.J. Smith, for instance, that was my guy heading into the game. And if you remember last preseason, he saw action in the third and fourth quarter. So instead of seeing third and fourth stringers, he saw backups tonight. And, Jeff, he couldn't cover Jeff Janis. That's not good. So we'll see if he can bounce back after that. But he had a good preseason last year, and he did bounce back after that touchdown because, listen, it could have went real downhill real quick for him. Those first two plays, it wasn't good, but did rebound with two plays after that, two pass breakups. So, yeah, that's about it from me. I'm going to put together a highlight video tonight. Maybe we'll see if I get this done. It's already 11:42. I got to write a post on this for Philly Influencer, but that's going to wrap it up right here. So that's it. Those are my thoughts on the game. Peace out.